This coffee is hot. My teeth are sensitive to hot liquid. Welcome to Mindful Contract Administrator. Today, we are going to talk about a very sensitive subject, that is sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis is a very useful tool which is being used in the market in order to identify the change in an uncertain variable and how that change affects the outcome of a function. It may be a mathematical model or it may be another type of a model. Sensitivity analysis has been used in medical field, in accounting field, in the engineering field, as well as in many other fields. When I was a kid, I was fascinated by the lawn in front of my family doctor's apartment. It was made of white grass. So I thought of having white grass in my house as well. So I went to the front yard, but I didn't have a measuring tape. So what I did was, I took a stick and I measured that particular stick by cutting it to the exact size of 5 tiles in the bathroom floor. I thought that one of the tiles in the bathroom floor was 200 by 200 millimeters. I therefore did not hesitate to determine that particular stick which I have used represents 1 meter. I went into the front yard and then I measured on the longer side 8 times the stick and on the shorter side 5 times the stick. So I was happy. 8 times 5, 40 square meters. But on my way back, I was just benchmarking my height with this particular stick. And I realized, have I grown shorter? Because the stick was almost the same height as me. I thought there was something wrong. I rushed into the bathroom and realized the fact that this particular tile which I have measured is in fact 300 by 300 as opposed to 200 by 200. Therefore, I realized I have made an error in measurement. Instead of a 1.5 meter, I measured 1 meter. I considered it as 1 meter. So what I measured as 8 meters on the longer side of my front yard was actually 12 meters. What I measured as 5 meters on the shorter side of my front yard was actually 7.5 meters. This was the first lesson which I learned in sensitivity analysis. That means the shorter side has got a more impact on the error. The shorter side has got a higher impact than the longer side when you do an error of the same quantity. You can see that from these two diagrams that the shorter side, the error in the shorter side has given a longer strip, a strip with a higher area of error than the longer side. So sensitivity analysis is changing from one variable to another. Therefore, it is of paramount importance that you understand the changes in one variable one at a time, and then you can do it for a combined approach as well. So today I have selected an example which you can readily use on site, which you can readily use in your quantity surveying practice. Imagine that you are a consultant quantity surveyor who wanted to do a tender evaluation merely based on the cost, that is the value of the tenderers. So you're going to go for the lowest tenderer. In this particular example, you can see, if you refer to the first table, the second lowest tenderer is almost equal to the lowest tenderer. But you find that there is something unusual in the reinforcement steel rate. As opposed to 298, The lowest tenderer has priced 320. Now, a question comes into your mind. What will happen if the quantity surveyor has undermeasured this particular item? Yes, if he has undermeasured this item, the more the reinforcement quantity goes up, the margin will decrease. The difference between the lowest and second lowest will decrease. That you can see from the second table. When you multiply the quantity by 25%, when you add 25% more quantity of steel into the BOQ, you understand that the second lowest becomes the lowest and the lowest becomes the second lowest. The positions swap. This is a very common scenario in remeasurable type of a contract, because remeasurable type of a contract is being administered in such a way that the contractor, will get paid based on the actual work executed. Therefore, it is not an unusual thing. This may happen in different quantities as well. So, when you are doing a sensitivity analysis in a tender evaluation, you can do one variable at a time, and then you can do different scenarios, like combining variables in order to get the optimum solution which is beneficial for the employer's value for money. Likewise, you can extend this sensitivity analysis in another application as well. Assume that you wanted to select a contractor not merely dependent upon the cost. It has to be a technical and commercial combined evaluation. So when you are deciding the ratio between the technical and the commercial, normally in the market, what you're doing is you take 40% for technical and you take 60% for commercial. Then when you are selecting this particular ratio, you have to do a sensitivity analysis, because in the market, if the tenderer identifies the sensitivity analysis factor, if a tenderer identifies that he will get the tender based on more technical aspects, sometimes he can alter the price of the tender, even though he feels that can be done. Therefore, when you are doing this sensitivity analysis for a technical and commercial combined effort, you have to see the individual factors pertaining to the technical analysis, and you can evaluate the degree of uncertainty based on the criteria that you have put forth. Sometimes putting 30% of technical and 70% of commercial will allow you to get more value for money rather than 40% and 60%. I will explain this scenario in a future video as well. I believe now my coffee is a little bit cold, so I will be able to drink it. Yes, now my teeth are not sensitive to this temperature. I hope you learned something on sensitivity analysis in this video, and we will meet in another video with another example wherein a quantitative surveyor can be beneficial